Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Two Aquilines Presents. See what the cards have to tell us, your universal cosmic coaching call for this week. And it is August 7th, 2020. God, we're finally over halfway over this year. I don't know about you, but it's been quite horrendous. And needless to say, coming to you from another planetscape somewhere out in a distant galaxy, away from all this pandemic BS and so forth and so on. And yeah, I think I'm going to stay out. I'm going to stay out here for a while. I don't know about you, but this week's energy has been absolutely over the top, especially when it comes to the, how do I put it? Especially when it comes to the fact that, uh, well, let me just put it this way. How did you like that spider in reverse in the north, huh? How did you I hated it, and boy, did it show up as ugly. So, anyways, so this week's reading is kind of more of a kick in the ass and a little bit more of a little bit more of a warning because things are really ramping up out there, and they're ramping up not to necessarily the betterment of us a uh, as a people, because of the fact that still there's a lot of normie sheeple people out there who are basically, essentially, surrendering their power. And so, guess what? All the rest of us get to pay. Not good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we're going to get right down to it because I only got a limited time to record this. So, all right, we're going to go here. Yeah. All right, so activation reversed, going from the fifth to row, coming in the east. Well, looks like we got, like I said, that's the first card that's basically saying, hey, we got some issues to deal with here because of the fact that alchemy or activation rather says is that we are letting ourselves beings we're being stifled basically because we're letting ourselves being stifled. And so what's happening here is that we have a situation to where it's coming in upside down. The power grabs are getting more and more and more. I've had some, other cosmic intelligences, not necessarily channeling or anything like that, but just basically people who are also reading energies in their own way, saying that the power grabs are only supposed to last another week. I personally do not see this. I see this as ongoing, and it's because of the fact that none of us are not enough of us rather are waking up. You're going to have to excuse me. I've been operating on very little sleep for the past couple of days, and whoever just messaged me, well, you can wait. Anyways, so High Priestess comes in the south. Now, this is kind of a good hope card because of the fact that what she's reminding us to do is to look at our communities, celebrate what's inside, let go of the perceptions that we have. And boy, I can tell you, I mean, that resonates in my life, especially with the quote unquote quote community that I'm with and all that stuff. This is basically saying letting go of perceptions, letting go of expectations, so forth and so on, because of the fact that what she is demanding of us is to, basically realize who we are and realize that there are things that are underneath the surface that are way more valuable, way more authentic, way more trustworthy, so forth and so on, that make this, that can strengthen us, both on an individual level as well as a community level. But unfortunately, like I said, that's not happening because of the fact that we're so divided and continue to be even more divided. I don't even see how we can be more and more and more divided, even down to the individual level, and expect to survive. We can't. But hey, it's your choice. I'm just here reading the cards, and yes, I am a little bit more glib. I'm a little bit more, not necessarily in your face, but basically facts are. Call it Saturnian energy, Saturn energy, stuff like that. But we got to look at what's going on here. We got to look at what's really happening. But not only look at what's happening, but also look at the situation as far as what's going on with each other, and looking below the surface area in order to basically in order to basically, accept and strengthen ourselves, especially if we're wanting to have that greatest support that is community and stuff like that, because that's what the South represents in the medicine wheel, right? So that's exactly what we need. Okay, so alchemy reversed. Two messages that come up here as far as that's concerned. Alchemy is our greatest advantage, okay? And that's bringing together all the elements, all the energies, all the different ways of thinking, ways of doing things, ways of, being, as it were, um, and bringing all the elements together. And this is saying, bring this within ourselves. Cut the divisive BS because it's external. Look to the internal, look to what really makes us us, and be able to be able to act upon that, and act upon that in a real sense. And that I'm trying to bring this to from a down to a lesser esoteric perspective, because of the fact that what's happening here is that uh, by us being divided from each other and from ourselves, the elements within inside are being basically torn apart. And so therefore the alchemy of our beingness is being torn apart. That's what they want. This is what the powers that be, this is what the world elite wants, because this is their dream. They want to break us down. They want to make us autonomous, automatons. They want to make us robots, useful idiots, as Marx would say, and so that way they can fulfill their agenda. These people that I'm talking about, and I don't need to mention names, I can if I want to, but those who subscribe to the list and who know me, and who share videos with me, basically make me part of the the intel hub, know who these people are. We're talking Fauci, we're talking Gates, we're talking, our political heroes from national all the way down to the local level. They want to tear us apart. I'll give you an example. On the local level, our dictator Adler, I don't even really call him a mayor because there's really not a mayor per se. He doesn't represent the local populace whatsoever. But he wants us to, everybody to pay reparations for racism and so forth and so on. And he wants to get on board this national agenda that, descendants of slaves should get reparations from, everybody else because of slavery and so forth and so on, and because of racism. Well, I'm sorry, there are a whole bunch of people who don't have a racist bone in their body. Never have, never will. And so why are they being punished? Well, it's because of the New World Order. Okay? You don't believe me, just sit back, be a normie sheeple and all that stuff, let everything go to hell in the shit basket, and see what I mean. And by the way, I'll tell you, I told you so, you know. Okay. So that's what the alchemy card is basically saying is that, all the elements that we need to bring into ourselves in order to really celebrate and be who we are as human beings is being torn apart. And we need to go into the inside and reawaken these, even if they're different parts, and they should be, because of the fact that we are beings of diversity. We need to reach in and bring those together and not let those get separated, and especially not let those get separated within ourselves. Because let me tell you, the division is right here in front of our face. If you don't see it, well, best of luck with that. That's all I gotta say. I really don't want to live in your world as far as that's concerned. It really just sucks. Anyways, but that's what alchemy is basically saying is that we really need to awaken to who we are, and to awaken to our diversity, bring these elements together, and bring these new and bring these new insights to light, and so forth and so on, because that's still our greatest advantage. But again, it's being threatened, so we have to go into the inside, and that's why the two reasons why this card comes in reversed. All right, so on the north side, three of fire, spontaneity. What this is saying, this is saying a couple of things here, is that one is that one, we are not being spontaneous. We're being led by the nose by a plan that is not necessarily, that doesn't necessarily have our highest good in mind. And at the same time, we're also moving in fear. We're basically, the lockdown is not necessarily, physical. It's not necessarily you must stay in your homes, you must, stay in your, only go to central businesses and so forth and so on. No, this is even more so than that. This is saying you can't make, you can't do what you want. There has to be, you have to clear it with the master plan and so forth and so on. The idea for this is that, let's see, south, west, and north. Okay, spontaneity. We need to learn, and this is the notes that I have here that I wrote down as I was pulling the cards. We need to learn how to break out of the expectations and patterns, especially in how we react to each other. Wow. Okay. Well, if you looked at last week's spread, remember in the medicine card spread, we had Spider come up and she was upside down. Well, this is kind of the same thing. So really what we need to do is we need to really watch our reactions and watch how we're reacting to ourselves and ultimately to each other. All right. The shapeshifter is talking about reshaping ourselves, reinventing ourselves. Many of us know that the systems as they are, the system, social systems, the economic systems, the justice systems, just any system that has been in the works or has been functioning for the past, century or, thousands of years or whatever is breaking down and it's being reshaped. And it's for a reason, because of the fact that this is a gift being open to us. It comes in the Mother Earth, which is one of the prophecy cards, because of the fact that this is going to happen. And the shapeshifter basically says, that we really need to reshape and re-examine who we are. And so we're on the midst of reshaping ourselves and everything around us. But what for? Okay, what is the result that we want? That we want to happen, right? So what happens is that we need to be very cognizant as far as what we're tearing down. Don't tear down everything just because of the fact that it's a reminder of a bad history or something like that. Learn from it and reshape it. Cancel, and this is also very related. The shapeshifter is also very related to the cancel culture. That's basically saying, look, you can't tear down everything and expect to have something new come up that is better. That's just basically shooting yourself in the foot, per se. So the father sky position is very interesting because of the fact that we have the apprentice of shells. Okay, so with the apprentice of shells, and she's reversed, because of, why is this coming up for me? Hang on a second. Okay, all right. For some reason, it's Zoom is being a little bit crazy here. Okay, there we go. All right, maybe that'll settle it. No, it doesn't, but oh, okay. All right. So anyways, the apprentice of shells is basically saying, the key indicator that the tactics of the elite opposition is keeping us from is keeping us from immersing ourselves in the fullness of ourselves and life. Now, remember I said that also comes back to the alchemy card as well. Remember, being, celebrating those parts of us, celebrating the fullness of all those elements coming together and so forth and so on. That's being basically taken away from us. And so what we need to do is kind of pause, kind of retreat a little bit. And this has been said also in previous readings as well, is that basically we need to really listen to within in order to have that guidance, to bring that, to have that guidance that is strong enough and clear enough, as it were, in order to bring that alchemy together and so forth and so on. So this is giving it, right now the universe is kind of task mastering us for a very good reason, because here it is. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune says what comes around goes around. So what this is, and it comes in upside down, because what this is also saying is that we need to basically be aware of what we're doing. What energy are we putting out there? Because it's being dished back up to us, as far as that's concerned. Okay. um, what goes around comes around, and our division and negativity towards each other is being amplified and thrown back at us. So my advice here is that if you start feeling separation and stuff like that, look at what you're putting out there. Look at what are you fostering a energy of unity, or are you fostering uh, an energy of division? So that's why the Wheel of Fortune comes in upside down. Now look at this. I mean, upside, the whole east-west axis, which is the spirit path, is um, is basically upside down, because of the fact that, one, we're being alerted to the fact that we're really not doing our homework, as it were. The north south is upside down, except for the high priestess, and what she's saying is that we really need to let go of some things, and let go of perceptions that we've been holding on to about ourselves and each other. Now, reshaping. Again, we have the Seeker of Shells, the Wheel of Fortune, coming in upside down. But what this is also saying is that we have, with Mother Earth, the shapeshifter on the Mother Earth position, we have a chance to actually have a chance to make a positive change. But it's not gonna just be an out of the box technology where we can just unpack it and plug and play. Basically, we have to do some work here, and so that's a lot of self-reflection, a lot of re-examination as far as what we're putting out there, what we're bringing into ourselves, and how we're integrating it, so forth and so on. Okay, so next spread is quite interesting. All right, so God, that just really didn't turn out well. I tried my photography, but unfortunately, I just couldn't get the light right on that. Okay, so we have in the east position, we have the stone people, which is knowing. This is saying that more revelations are to come. So some of them positive, but some of them, or a lot of them, are really shocking. A lot of that is now coming out into fruition, because what we're being shown here, and if I can get back to my screen here, what we're being shown here is that basically, basically we have a lot of stuff that we've been kind of sweeping under the rug, and now it's going to come out. It's already coming out, especially with regards to, the human trafficking situation. The politicians, as it were, are being more and more dumbasses, and so forth and so on. And we're really being shown a lot of stuff that not only that we created, but we allowed to create as well. So divination card comes in on the south. That's the casting of the bones, or rolling of the bones, as it were. And this is talking about divination. What this is talking about is paying attention to not only our intuition, but also the signs around us. Looking at, don't look at the main screech card media, the narratives that they have to push. Basically, what this is saying is look at the signs around us, look at the synchronicities around us, because that's going to give us the greater strength as a community, as individuals, and so forth and so on. This is basically talking about empowerment, but we have to basically look around and use a little discernment, look at the synchronicities, look at the patterns that are shaping up, and look at how those are actually shaping up for us, because those are kind of the road signs as far as what's really going on and where we're really headed. Okay, so the West is talking about birds. We're talking about freedom here. Okay, Our greatest advantage is our freedom to be human, freedom to be ourselves, freedom to be, just any number of things and so forth and so on. But of course, that's being taken away from us. The masking policy. Here it is that the curve is not only flattened, but it's going way down. Um, but here it is that Fauci is saying, well, until we get a vaccine, which is a year or two from now, we need to social distance, we need to wear masks and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, no touch torture. They're terrorizing us. These are the terrorists, not us. Okay. And so therefore they're going to do whatever they can. They're going to move the goalposts. They're going to do whatever they want to in order to basically rob us of their freedom. And you know what? They are so on target because look what's happening. We're not stepping up. We are not basically saying, you know what, enough's enough. This doesn't make sense. We need herd immunity. This is bullshit. And we need to be human beings. We need to be the social animals that we are. And you know what? To hell with the power structure. We just don't need to listen to them. But because we are listening to them, everybody's freedoms are going out the door. Not only just the normies, but also the ones who are awake. No, I'm not saying that word woke, okay, because it's grammatically incorrect. And as a writer, I'm sorry, I value the English language a little too much. Oh, by the way, have you noticed that our language is being slowly destroyed? Oh, yeah. Can you say Orwell's 1984? Double think and double speak? Yeah. Okay. There you go. So we need to really pay attention to that. We really need to pay attention to how our freedoms are being taken away. And we really need to stand up and fight for them because right now we're looking at a wedge. We're at the narrow end of the wedge. But, as time goes on, more and more things are going to be demanded of us. And it's going to be, within a year or two, I would even say less. I mean, look at the next 6 months, if the powers that be in Davos have their way, guess what? We're not going to have our freedom anymore. That wedge is going to be driven even further and further, and it's going to be increasingly, or even exponentially, or even geometrically difficult for us to get our freedoms back. But hey, it's your choice. You do what you want to. Okay, but I just don't want to have to be the bearer of your responsibility. And that's the big thing. That's the big, and that's what a lot of people who are awake to the situation, who are empowered, are basically saying, hey, look, we don't want to have to be responsible for everybody else's stupidity. But the fact is that we are. That's the big thing. And I know I'm a little bit, I know I'm a little bit in your face. I know I'm pretty impassioned about this, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm calling it as it's seen. And if you want to deny it, that's fine. But you're no ally of mine. So okay, all right. Enough of my rant. Okay, so let's go down to the north. What do we have here in the north? We have north birth, renewal. The test of wisdom here is to wake up before we can't take our own be, wake up before we cannot take our own sovereign actions. If we can't take our sovereign actions as a free people, as a free species, then then we deserve what we get. And that's why the birth card comes up in the north. This is talking about also manifestation. You make your bed, you lay in it, basically. That old expression. Okay. We're really coming to a point here where we really need to be aware of what we are creating, and that's why the birth card comes in at the north. All right, moving along before I get on another soapbox. Okay. Okay, so we have on the Mother Earth side, this is reversed. It's creativity. This is air reversed. We need to focus our own inner creativity, else it will be taken from us. Okay. Need I say more? I mean, really? Need I say more? Because look, when we enter into this dystopian society, which we're really kicking on the afterburners headed down towards. Okay. If we do not realize our own sovereignty, if we do not realize our own freedom and so forth and so on. It's going to be taken right from us, right? Okay, so that's why it's coming in reverse. It's saying, hey, you know what? You're achieving what you're setting out to do, whether you think you're doing it or not. It's your responsibility. And guess what? This is your result. All right. All right. Now, Father Sky. Father Sky is that of, God, I can't even see this. Okay. Glad I did my notes beforehand because I cannot see that light. Um, Father Sky, drum reversed. Okay. Awakening. This is an indicator that the powers that be have the upper hand and continue to have more such because not enough of us are awakening fast enough. Okay. Um, again, this is what again, that's what I'm saying is that we're not awakening fast enough. The Mother Earth and the Father Sky position are saying that right then and there. Okay. The medicine mask is reversed as well. That's in the seventh direction. This is how we relate to everything. Okay. Um, so, seventh direction, medicine mask reversed, authenticity. We are not operating within our authentic selves. So that's why we see the prophecy cards coming in upside down. That's why we see freedom coming in upside down in the West. It's reminding us that we need to pay attention to what's going on around us. Okay, and so therefore we need to also not only pay attention to what's going on around us, but we also really need to pay attention and take accountability as far as what's going on within us as well. I know it's tall order. I'm not perfect as well. I'm not getting on my high horse. I'm not stepping on my soapbox. I'm reading to you what the cards are basically saying. Okay, this is something very, very, very serious. Okay, I cannot stress this anymore. If we do not wake up as a whole of humanity, we are screwed. This is why the cards are coming up the way that they are. Like I said, I hesitated to publish these, but the fact of the matter is that we have to wake up big time. We have to pay attention to what's going on around us. We need to basically, and we basically really need to get our shit together. Okay, no, I'm not going to mince words. We need to get our shit together. Okay, because if we don't, well, the only ones to blame are you. Okay, because of the fact that you didn't take action, you didn't stand up, you didn't fight for what it is that you really are working towards and all that stuff. What are you working towards? Can you answer that question? No, I don't think you can, because this is saying not. Okay. All right. Now here we go. We have the let's see. We have the mouse in the east, and this is talking about scrutiny. Mouse in the east is talking about paying attention, looking at everything, analyzing everything. In the Chinese zodiac, it's also relative to rat, which I am. I was born in the year of the rat, and being analytical and stuff like that. What this is saying is that we really need to be analytical of ourselves, analytical of our effects that we are having on everything, and if we're not careful, if we don't do this and act upon it, then we're going to get scrutinized, i.e. a panopticon, i.e. police state, i.e. New World Order, so forth and so on. We're not just moving towards socialism. We're moving towards a very, very dire, sense of communism, if not worse. And this revolution that's going on is a color revolution. So, we really need to be on our game as far as what's going on. Okay. Otter, woman medicine. This is the divine female, divine feminine coming up and saying, hey, we've got our greatest strength is nurturing our community. Okay, I'm trying to find hiccups here. Sorry about that. So let's see here. Hang on. All right, there we go. Understand why my computer has to act up so, but anyways, okay. So we talked about scrutiny, otter medicine, woman medicine. Our communities and their bonds are being destroyed because we are unfocused and can't receive the meaningful gifts. Wow, boy, talk about an answer right there. Hello. Okay, so basically what this is saying is that we're also, in a way, not being grateful for what we have, but also grateful for each other as well. Um, we got to separate, 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 separate. That's the new social. And so what happens is that the divine feminine is being crushed because of it. And let me tell you something. If we do not nurture the divine feminine and we do not allow the divine feminine to nurture us, guess what's going to happen? We're going to cease to exist. Okay? Because it's the divine feminine that really provides the foundation and the support and the nurture that keeps societies, keeps communities, keeps whatever going. And that's being basically destroyed big time. Okay. Now, Heron is talking about self-reflection. That's our greatest advantage. What did I keep saying in this video? We have to look and inventory what we have inside and what we have with each other, and let go of the artificial expectations. Let go of the artificial, bullshit that basically divides us and so forth and so on, and basically call bullshit on it and say, you know what? No, there's something different here, and we're going to act upon this. This is why blue heron comes up in the West, because of the fact that, this is our greatest advantage. Again, we're being handed the answers here. Yes, we have some big problems that we gotta resolve, but we are being handed answers here. But we need to act on them. We can't be normie sheeple and think that somebody else is going to do it for us. No, it's not going to happen for us. Okay, we need to make it happen. All right. All right. Getting a little riled up here. But you can see how passionate I am. I've always been passionate about empowering those around me and all that stuff, mainly because of the fact that with people empowered around me, then I'm more empowered, and not necessarily, that I, have power over others. No, I have power that is shareable with others, and therefore it's more synergistic. Oh, wait, I just said something that is totally over everybody's head, right? Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So nix that, right? That's where we're going. Okay. Bat on the north is upside down. Now, bat is kind of the shamanic rebirth. Okay, the bat ceremony is typically when an initiate would be taken out as his final test, and he would literally have to dig his own quote unquote grave, or her quote unquote grave, and they would lay in it. Essentially buried, for not necessarily in soil, but blankets and stuff like that would be put over it and all that stuff, and it would essentially be a sensory deprivation chamber, and they would be left there for about 3 to 4 days, and that would be so that way they could do the internal work and do the internal integration and receive from Mother Earth the final lessons and the final connections. What does Bat say in my notes? Well, Bat is basically saying that frog reversed. What the hell? Oh, the north. Okay, excuse me. Our spirits are in stagnation, and thus we refuse to realize our destiny. Okay, so in other words, we're resisting the ceremony that is coming to us, and so therefore, because of this, Bat's coming in upside down, saying, "No, no, no, no! You're really missing the point here. You're missing what is really being offered to us, and we're really missing the power from within." That's a big thing right there. All right, now take a deep breath here. All right, so Mother Earth is frog reversed. Okay, now frog is the medicine of cleansing, clearing, and getting rid of the muck that is keeping us stagnated. And frog comes in reversed, and he's basically saying that essentially we're refusing to wipe the mud off of us, so therefore we are being stuck on our own backs, unable to right ourselves. Well, guess what? If the new world, if the global elite saw this, boy, they'd be jizzing themselves, because this is their wet dream right here. Okay, because of the fact that we refuse to turn ourselves over. We refuse to clean off the muck and all that stuff, and get on with our lives. And this is saying, well, you know what? This is what you're doing. You're continuing to do it. So guess what? You're just going to be stuck even more so. And on the father sky position, we have horse reversed. Oh, horse representing power. What are we doing? We're surrendering our power. Yay! Good for us. Yeah, this is what we want, right? Yeah. So we're surrendering our power, right? So therefore, what's happening is that we're really screwing ourselves over hugely. All right. So this is something that we really don't need to be doing. Okay. Now, squirrel comes in. Thank you, Julie. It comes in the seventh direction because this is talking about gathering. Again, squirrel is also is resonating, at least in this reading, with the alchemy cards, because of the fact that what this is talking about is gathering the gifts, gathering the power, gathering the community, gathering those like mind, gathering those of one heart. Chante Wan Ji. Okay, I'm going to give you a little foreign language lesson here. Chante Wan Ji is Lakota for one heart. Okay, and so that's what Squirrel is talking to us about, is because of the fact that with Heron in the west and we have Mouse on the east, is talking about scrutinizing our assets and looking at our assets and looking at our self-reflection and saying, is this really who we are? Okay, getting rid of the stuff that doesn't work is also very necessary, i.e. frog medicine, so that way we can reclaim our power. That's a big thing. Okay, and at the same time, we need to really accept the gifts that we have. I'll zoom out on that. We really need to accept the gifts that we have and accept the fact that this is coming from our divine nurture, the divine feminine. Um, embracing the woman medicine, because woman medicine is always there to support us, to guide us, to nurture us, to to uh, to essentially show us the way, but do so in a way that is subtle, in a way that is gentle, and so forth and so on. Remember what I also said in previous readings, that the woman medicine is here to rise, to complement the divine masculine. So that way we can rise in synergy. Okay. And by that, I mean synergy being the total being more of the two, the components putting together, the sum of the components putting together. So let me say that again. Synergy, the definition of it is that it is the greater sum total than it's a greater outcome or greater total of this, that is greater than the sum of the parts that are coming together. So in other words, as I, put two and two together, I get six or something like that. It's because of the fact that there is more, because of the synergistic relationship. That's what woman medicine is all about. That's why beforehand, when we saw, the woman's the suffer, the women's suffrage movements, so forth and so on, over the past century or so, it's been rising. I really hesitate to use the Me Too movement, except the fact that at the beginning, the Me Too movement was basically an awakening to saying, hey, look, women have been abused because of the fact that they've been objectified. I would agree with that. Okay. That is until it began to be weaponized and used as a divisive tool that the millennials and Gen Zs can use against anybody and everybody. Okay. Yeah. I named names. So basically what this is saying is that we really need to gather elements of that otter medicine, that divine feminine, and really allow ourselves to be reborn, because that's what that is about rebirth. Okay. Being reborn into something greater, and therefore claiming our power. All right. So I'm going to turn off the screen here, and I'm going to look at you for a little bit and give you kind of a bit of a summary of what's going on. So I know I've really been kind of in your face. I've been very riled up about this, but you know what? It's because of the fact that I'm passionate about what's happening here. Okay, this is my world as well as your world. All right. There are those that say, well, we're all being held on the cosmic plane, da 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 da, and this this new age Pollyannic stuff. Well, that's all fine and good, but we've still got a responsibility here. Okay, we have an ability to respond, and therefore, if we don't, we're screwed. Okay, and very quickly. All right, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why that if you like this video, like it, share it, subscribe to my channel, please. I'm not doing this for any narcissistic purposes or anything like that. This is because of the fact that this just lets me know that, hey, I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing. And, because we're all participants in this, we're all in this, we're all going through this. I'm not going to say that cliche word because it's much bullshit. We're not in it together if we're all separated, right? So the fact of the matter is that if we do not realize realize our power and take inventory and take stock of not only what's in ourselves, but also removing the expectations of others and really looking at what others have to offer, then we're going to get killed, people. Okay. And not in a good way either. Okay. And so therefore we really need to come together. I mean, this is, the universe is shouting at us. It's not just shouting at us saying, you need to do this, you need to da. No, this is what it's saying is that more like, you can do this, but you really need to get off your ass and do it. Okay. So that's what this is all about. So anyways, like I said, like, share, subscribe. It's much appreciated. This channel is not monetized. It's fledgling. I probably should have been doing this a lot earlier, but should have, would have, could have. It's bullshit. Here it is that I'm doing it right now. So please support me in this. And if you would like a reading, if you would like an individual reading, my contact information is down in the show comments or the show notes. Things are you can book an appointment with me on Facebook and so forth and so on. I do use the same spreads. I've got other decks as well that I use. As a matter of fact, I may even start using some different decks as well, just to kind of mix things up. So anyways, enough of my rambling, enough of my stuff. So I will let you go with that. And remember, this is all done in love because of the fact that I love you all. And until next time, I'll leave you with this, and wish you the best of empowerment, prosperity, and love and peace. And I will see you on the other side of the flip side. So take care, everyone. Much love.